5, 4.
No, hold the fuck up, man. Okay, I'm ready. I'm
Fucking
ready.
bullshit,
Okay.
man. Comics
You
Plus,
ready?
what is going on? My name is Akasan.
Hey, it's Terry from Obsidian Perspective.
What's with that?
Hey, what's up? It's Tyrone.
Hey, it's Marta.
What's up, Super Cruise? DC Song.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, the show is fucking bullshit, man. Release the Snyder Cut. I had to go back and watch it again. I had to go back and watch that scene. That shit was great because there were so many little things that they were talking about that I didn't even catch the first time. Fucking A, man. That was great. I have to applaud them for being so bold. They got me. I knew Batman came back. I was ready to go. But then there was a Gotham joke they mentioned. They was like, why would I watch a show without fucking Batman and it's about Gotham? And he's like, you watched all 5 seasons of Gotham. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Even I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far.
I take offense to that because one of the best comic
boy.
books I read was
Wait,
DC comic books was the one where it's Gotham City Central, was it?
Yeah.
Dope as fuck. No Batman. Come on.
Yeah, how'd that do? How's it doing now? Full reaction, guys, available on Patreon. This is a show about Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn and Ivy should be back in this episode, we hope. Make sure you check out everybody's social media as well, and let's start. Their latest reaction starts now.
Two-Face, Killer Croc, Joker.
Again,
Oh.
he's dead.
Oh, come on,
let's
girl.
just-
No, it's
Oh, shit.
Joker.
Holy shit! It's
What?
a totally unremarkable-looking white guy
Just one people hair,
Fuck.
bleached white skin.
and maniacal laugh, bloodlust in his eyes. and
Exactly,
fire engine red
exactly.
lips.
That was lipstick. He always stole mine. Oh, it was so annoying. Like, hello, you can murder a family, but you're afraid to buy makeup on your own.
This guy does not look like he was flattened by 1,000 tons of.
Take away,
Babe, I'm
too.
telling you, it's not him. Oh fuck! It's him.
Oh shit.
Damn.
That mask of the Phantasm.
Do you think he saw us?
Nice reference there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bought that whole act? He is fucking with you. I don't know what his game is, but seriously, we should just kill him.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
all right.
Killing
Whoa!
Norman. Maybe that
Oh.
message changed
It was
him.
a ninja
Oh,
star.
time you thought he changed, he pushed you out of a helicopter. This is
Stupid.
totally different. We are not in a helicopter.
People can't change.
I did. Remember when I used to be a psychologist and I wore my hair up all the time?
There you
Even
go.
then, I could tell deep down you were crazy. bitch.
Whoa!
You are at your core.
We never read your paper. Hell, we didn't even know you wrote one.
Oh, then
Wow.
why'd you hire me?
Because you're cheap and you've got a pulse, skirt.
Oh.
Chewed up every other shrinking guy.
Wow.
Which is why
Skirt.
this election is so important. Take an extra for your mom. She'll love it. I believe in you.
Oh.
I'll let you down, sir. I'm sure in no
I
time
believe in
I can-
you.
Harvey Dent, yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
planted to bomb someone.
Ooh, we're gonna get a
looking like an action.
dope. Dope. Oh! I love this show. Dope. Dope.
Yeah.
Ivy, my
Nice.
girl. Oh my god.
Mr. Dent, you can't burn inmates.
Not yet, but Prop 17 gives an exciting new
What the
definition
hell?
to prisoners' rights.
What are you gawking at? Get to the Joker and find that bomb.
Oh, Enigma?
The Riddler.
Joke's on you. That was
What
my
that
line.
hair?
When he had hair.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. They shouldn't have done that. Fuck off, narc.
Ha!
Oh shit.
Fuck off, Narc.
Gosh.
Dope. Dope. Makes me want to play the Arkham
ready, Shaker?
games.
Maximum security. They better have him like Hannibal Lecter.
Hell yes.
Like in a. Okay.
Or not.
So
Okay.
it's like X-Men.
No, they got him like the other dude. X-Men
Lecter.
or 007. Skyfall? No. Maybe Skyfall.
Skyfall.
Yeah.
What kind of nutrients am I going to get from 5 peas?
How about we take a step back and talk about your obsession with the bat?
What's that? I'm sorry, the speakers are getting a little
Well.
fuzzy.
Funny.
Oh my god.
Mr. Quinn's
That's great.
peas pudding.
Let me in the cell. I need to get on his level. That's tough to do with bars between us.
You mean the glass?
Whatever, Cheryl. Just do it.
Cheryl.
Your funeral, Shug.
Sure.
Wow, that's very stupid.
So
All of
dumb.
that.
There. This. Look. Hey.
What do we have here? Let me see.
Mighty fine penmanship.
Whose glasses
Blah,
are
blah, blah.
Ah.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
glasses.
where did they come from?
Blah, blah. Cute.
I would never write that.
But I know you thought it.
Wow.
People are afraid of you, but I'm not.
An athlete and a scholar. You're far too good for this stuff.
What the fuck?
I know. I'm thinking like, yeah.
This is
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh god.
Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
You alright?
yeah. Good call, Mark.
Wow.
Woo, that was hot.
Okay, she liked
Yeah.
it.
I know I can get through to him. Give me one more chance.
Well, what other option do we have?
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Oh
Hell yes. Hell yes. Oh my god! Yes! Beat the shit out of his ass.
Oh,
Where's the
What?
bomb? Why don't you ask Rob?
Where is it?
Oh,
Oh my
this
God.
is like the Dark
Yeah.
Knight. I love it.
right?
Nice.
Oh
Oh.
shit.
Damn.
This is different because they're just letting him.
Licorice?
At least Gordon tried.
Oh my God.
Licorice?
Look at that blood
That,
stain.
that's dope. That's
Oh,
dope.
that's cool.
Nice.
That's really cool.
So, got any plans for tonight, Batman?
Stop Joker from blowing up Gotham.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I meant like after that.
So stupid.
What?
I want to ask you about Joker.
Just kill him already.
Is Gordon
The bomb will
gay?
go off.
People aren't worth saving. Kill Joker, kill people, kill yourself.
Your file says you're in good therapy, but all the notes are missing. What happened?
Fine. You want to know how I got these emotional scars?
Nice reference. Nice.
Nice.
All right. I'll admit my parents weren't too fond of me.
What makes you think that?
Let me see. Quote, son, we're not fond of you. My parents especially not their attention.
So you must have spent a lot of time.
Personally, I never got what was so funny. But that's the thing about comedy.
Ah.
Not everyone gets the joke.
You're not defined by your father. You don't have to destroy the world. I can help you if you help me.
That security guard.
I'll fess up about the bomb.
You alright?
Mean mugging in the background.
I wa-
Holy hell, she did it!
Yeah, that's beginner's luck.
Next
That.
time I'll underestimate a
Yeah.
skirt with a PhD.
Gonna win the election.
Ben and Bridget,
What
get
the
everyone over
fuck?
to Little Italy. Pronto! That's Italian. We can carpool.
What?
Right? Global warming, it's an issue.
I, of course, can't go. Me around an armed bomb, bad photo op. But do anything it takes to stop that bomb.
I love the
The
music.
voters, thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Still alive? Guess I owe Riddler a 20.
Joker
Yeah.
fell down.
Jason Boyd's getting his face burned.
You told me. And since you want humans wiped from the face of the earth,
What?
Right. So you cut a plant for me?
Dope. Oh. Oh. Yo.
See, Luigi's got a bit of a nickname around here.
The heart. Oh.
Good. The flavor really just explodes in your mouth.
Feels so good.
Ah.
You're
Damn.
not gonna believe this.
Oh.
The bomb was in a guy
Oh.
named Little Italy.
Did you say paint by
Where are you
Daniel?
going, Dark Knight?
Wow.
Dine al fresco.
Wow.
Oh.
I can't win this goddamn election if Joker escapes on my watch.
Shot.
Please don't go through her back. Oh, dope. Harley. Ivy. Dope.
Yay!
Nice.
You saved me.
Say what?
I owe
Save
you.
it
You
what?
have a special place in your heart.
Not you, asshole.
Thank you.
Doc, I was thinking of seeing a new therapist. If you could recommend.
I'd love to.
Cool.
Dope. I
I
like that.
You're all right. Phew.
Yeesh.
Crazy night, huh? We good?
Thank
Fuck
you.
off,
Ooh,
Two-Face.
shit.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bullshit. You came up with Two-Face?
And not a single royalty.
Wow.
Charles, that was my story. I told
Right.
it in group therapy. Joker probably just stole it and weirdly changed it into his ferret.
Oh, wow.
Family over the years, his custom Christmas stocking was a fairy.
Well, as always, Joker lied, surprising
Right.
no one
Right.
but you.
Right.
The first time my father hit me, that's when I gave up on humans. Until I met you.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Wow, nice unit.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Smart.
Oh. Oh, no.
Hey, Terry.
He really loves those kids. That is disgusting.
Ugh, I hated seeing it.
And case closed.
Oh, no,
He's
what if
got
they messed
zero
up his
memories from
mind?
before the tower collapsed. You're welcome.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
What the hell?
What the fuck?
Yo.
messed up.
That was an interesting public
Many
face.
questions there. Many
Yeah,
questions.
many questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right.
I'm trying to see if he actually, if Alan did the voice to him. Meow. There we go. Maybe. I don't know. They don't credit that guy, the waiter. I'm sure. So okay. All right, yeah. All right, guys, there you have it. That was the latest episode of Harley Quinn, an origin story. These episodes are knocking it out the park here. I'm loving it. What did we think? Is that the Joker or not? Is it the Joker or because
Yeah.
I remember you guys. Some of you guys mentioned. I don't remember it from the end of the episode, but I think it was the first thing Marta said at the beginning of the season because she saw it like a day before we started season 2.
Oh, right.
Is at the end of when the tower fell, the white was disappearing and his hand was turning pale. Human.
His hand was turning back to normal. That and he said before attempting to throw Harley in there that it would erase everything that she is now and make her as normal as before. That's him, but I think like he mentioned, because he's been dropped in the acid so many times, it only affects him but so much. That's why in this episode we see his kids and the way he's playing and laughing. It's like he's still there, but almost like he's behind a veil.
Yep.
So it's Joker. It's just too weird not to be.
Yeah, it is him for sure. But I think that if they had left him alone, he would have stayed normal. But because I forgot that henchman's name. Because the brain guy.
With the big head.
Dr. Psycho.
Yeah, exactly. Because Dr. Psycho screwed around with his head by just
and it opened
going
it up.
in and touching it and opening it. Yeah, he
made it worse.
The Joker. Yeah, like he's like starting to reverse the whole thing.
Possibly. But I liked it. I mean, as far as we know, in all likelihood, that's Joker. But I like the fact that this is a good way of sidelining him. So the first episode, or the previous episode, they had to really make it give us a very elite detail on why Batman wouldn't come back as Batman for a while. They're like, look, you need concrete evidence that Batman's gonna stop. We're gonna break his fucking legs badly.
Right.
With Joker, they were just like, look, okay, we're just mentally taking him out the picture. So we got to focus on the rest of what's going down here. So I like that. I like the way they did that.
I think it'll come back though. I think he'll come back into the story maybe later on in the season. Maybe that'll be like a season finale.
I think both will pop up somewhere later on in the season, but it's almost as if they purposely set it out. So, okay, look, we took Batman out of the picture. Yep. Now we're going to take Joker out of the picture and give him a chance to kind of rebuild that character, do something different with him before he snaps back to normal. Same thing with Batman.
Yeah.
And we saw an origin story here. We saw a different retelling of the Dr. Quinzel story, which I liked. It was a little different from what I'm familiar with, but what I also noticed is the fact that the writers are very fucking clever. They do little things from different Batman universes that I like, and there's little lines that remind me of the Nolan trilogy, but at the same time I see little things from Suicide Squad as well, but particularly something I really noticed, and I think the animators did a really good job here, was you had the interrogation scene of Batman beating the shit out of Joker.
Yeah. Right? That was pretty intense.
Obviously, that was an intenser version of what you got from The Dark Knight. But what I thought was really interesting is when Joker was sitting down talking about the dinner or whatever, he did this nod with his face where he was just like, and it reminded me so much of when Heath Ledger was like, who'd you leave him with? Like that, he did the same type of nod, like, and I was like, holy shit, they really did their homework for this. And then the other thing,
would you like to know how I got my scars?
My emotional scars. I thought that was great. And then the other thing I really liked is that they I mentioned about the Arkham situation. It reminded me of the games. They really took the same concept of the Arkham logo from the games and incorporated it into the jumpsuit, and I thought that was a nice little touch. So I liked it all. Terry, how you doing over there, man?
No, I thought it was a little not as it's definitely a lull for me coming out, from the last episode being really really funny and action packed. The last thing I needed was another origin story, to be quite honest. Like,
oh really?
I kind of like, for Harley, it's been there, done that, and especially with the Joker, like, tricking her with his bullshit story. Like,
we've seen it, yeah.
I've seen it before. So,
but not with this telling.
True, it's different, but it's that's just me being real. And tired.
I mean, it's hard. I understand, because I know where Terry's coming from, because of the fact of, like, I mentioned it so many times, Marta, and you'll see what I mean when you finally watch it, but Mad Love was quite an interesting origin story. And so that particular telling the bullshit story and all that, I understand where Terry's coming from. It's like, we've seen it, but I also like the fact that they told it in this particular style. And I like the fact that he didn't just make that shit up. He legit jacked it from Ivy.
Yeah.
He heard that shit in group therapy and told that shit up.
What that kind of sounds like a little bit? It almost sounds a little bit like The Usual Suspects, where he comes up with the story based off of everything that's in the room. Like, okay, Kobayashi.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's maybe they were going with that too. Like, using other people's.
I liked it, because at the same time, you got to remember that it like, as much as the release the Snyder Cut fans are complaining, this is supposed to be a story about Harley and particularly Ivy, and I like that they did it in a way that it triggered it came full circle back to Harley. Ivy, and talking about her parents and her dad and what have you not. So I think they did a good job of, like, satisfying the people that want to see Batman, want to see the Joker, but still having it come full circle back to Harley again. So
I think that's what it is about the show. Like, whenever they focus on the Joker, I'm Jokered out. Like, I really am.
Interesting.
Like, so much Joker. Like I like I want to see more other Batman of Rogues Gallery or Rogues Gallery. You know,
Rogues Gallery, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like for Harley season 1, I get it. Joker was like a you know, the catalyst for it. But at the end of the day, like, it's the weakest for me. I don't care for Joker. I get so much of him. I want to see you do the things you do in the absence of him. And yeah.
Okay, I agree with that point a bit too. It was a kind of weird for them to go replay this situation of Harley kind of worried about the Joker again. I'm like, okay.
And you know what else? It's something that also comes to my mind. I kept thinking of the Telltale Batman with what's the name? John Doe? Was
yes,
that
yes,
his name originally?
Yes.
You know, like,
and there was Harley doing her thing without John Doe. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I wish when I see Joker in the asylum, or excuse me, he wasn't. He was like in custody. But yeah, I thought about that as well throughout the episode. Like, man, I'm really thinking about that Telltale games right now. You know, that creepy ass fucking dude.
Marta, what did you think of the so because for you, this is really your first time seeing Harley's the Harley Joker, I can reform him, Dr. Quinzel type origin story.
Yeah. I love
outside of
the
Suicide
episode.
Squad. Yeah.
Right. I loved the episode, and I thought that
look at that.
I really wanted to.
it's okay.
Like,
Bad
no,
nigga.
but like I get it. I get it though. I totally get it. Like, I don't consume much of this kind of stuff. So for me, like,
all the more reason why they need to tell. All the more reason why they probably should be telling this story.
Yeah, like, I'm not saturated with
the origin story. No one
Batman
knows
stuff and origins and all that stuff. Like, I just don't have that type of background. And I think it was a great way to, because like I was curious. Like, I kind of like in the earlier episodes when they were telling the story, and she was doing the flashback of how that was when she was trying to figure out the memory of whether she jumped in or whether he pushed her.
Yes.
And I like the scenes. I love their scenes together with Harley and Joker. I love it. I think it's so fun. I think the writers do a really good job writing their banter back and forth. It's entertaining and it's funny as hell. And it's fun to see them flirt. And I think that Harley is a very relatable character in a lot of ways, because you never really get over an ex that has made such an impact on your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really fun. And then also I just love the way they tied in Ivy with all of that.
Exactly.
Now, is it a little bit too coincidental? Yeah, but I'm gonna let it pass because overall, I like the show, and Ivy is a fantastic character, and I kind of don't mind it. Although I think
it's there for newcomers anyway.
Yeah, it was very much there for this episode. Was very much for like newcomers, and I think they even like, let's say people who haven't watched season 1, I think they could still appreciate season 2 and appreciate this episode and get in. Maybe it was directed for people who like me aren't saturated, but then also maybe people who just are jumping into season 2. I'm not sure. It's a little tricky because it's not on television, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm not totally convinced on my own point, but it's a possibility that people will just jump right in. I don't know.
It's possible. No, you're very right. It's very possible.
There is
the show came out of nowhere.
Story that I really want to see, and I want to see Ivy's origin story. I think that's missing. I think that would be such a fun episode to see.
That's a good one. Why does she become green?
Lots of spinach.
My knowledge of Ivy and her origin story is only based off of
Uma Thurman?
Batman and Robin?
Yes. Yeah. That's the only background knowledge I have of Ivy and her origin.
It's the same for me too, to be quite honest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't read Batman books, so I really don't know. Like in the animated series, I don't remember what her origin.
You missing out, son.
I'm not gonna mention it because, well, I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I think I have a brief idea of it because I guess this isn't really a spoiler, but you know what?
Could be.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna mention it at all.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention it at all. But I think the movie, if I remember, Batman and Robin, and the animated series, it's fairly similar, the cause of what happens or the actual thing of what happens, but everything else is completely different of how that happens. But you know, honestly, I don't even I don't know the comic origin of Ivy. I was introduced to her through the animated series, the original one, so I actually really don't know. And then she's always just been this powerhouse. In the comic books, I have no idea how she was introduced. Actually,
I don't remember.
Right?
She's been around for so long.
It's when I was first introduced to Ivy, I want to say I was maybe
it has to be
10 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was my brother had a bunch of comic books. My dad would go and get his comic books when we go to the supermarket. Yeah, there was a small bookstore that was there next to where we're at, and go in and, you know, buy a couple of whatever was there on the rack, because it wasn't like an official comic book store, so you picked up pretty much whatever they had.
Right.
And then when they started getting enough customers, they're like, oh, okay, well, actually, we'll start ordering these titles for you. Or if there's a title that you want, we'll order it for you. But I remember reading it and looking at it, and my dad had concerns. He was like, some of these characters look a little too sexy for your age. And my mom was like, he's getting to that age where, you know, you're going to see those kinds of things. Just keep an eye on what he's reading and things of that nature, will be fine. That's like 10 or 11 years old. But it wasn't a big deal.
Right. Poison Ivy was, I'm just trying to show the first appearance. Poison Ivy, I didn't realize she's that old, like 1960. Yeah, 1960.
Dude, she's one of the oldest characters.
That is crazy. Wow.
And she's had there's a post about Poison Ivy through the years, looking at the different iterations of her character throughout the years. It's a shocker. Because she looks different.
I'll have to look at it. Yeah. I like this version of Ivy, though. I'm really happy. I mean,
I like this butt-ass naked version of Ivy. I'm down with that. Yeah. I'm down with that.
But I like her. She's badass, but she's also like super compassionate about certain specific things.
I agree.
And I love that about
especially in the past, like maybe 15, 20 years when they write her, she's more compassionate and she's more personable. You know, of course she's a villain, but some of the storylines and threads about her character and some of the other villains make more sense for the average person. It's like, well, if I were in this situation, I'd probably choose something like that kind of thing.
Well, with Ivy on the verge of getting married here, don't think it's going to happen personally. I think Kite Man's going to end up dying somehow. But
which would be so funny.
He's going to die. I have a feeling we are going to get some sort of origin story sooner or later, because we have to be introduced to Ivy's parents. She already mentioned how she got the shit beat out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Tyrone, anything you want to say on the episode?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I didn't feel like it was a origin story. I feel like it was more of a soft origin or kind of anecdotal. Like this is kind of it didn't really get too deep into how their relationship actually formed. It just kind of like in the relationship initiated,
right.
So it was kind of like it's like it took place in like 1 day or 2 days or something, maybe
maybe
6 hours.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 days.
There was a bomb that was going off.
Yeah, it's very soft origins, but overall I did enjoy it.
Take that, Terry.
Yeah. but not everyone everything isn't for everyone. It's fine.
Yeah. But go back to your Gotham Siren, whatever it was called, Police Force GCP.
I guess my only issue with the episode was I was looking for something to happen at the end, with Joker. Like when he was at the bar, I was waiting for something to happen, other than him to just walk away and be like, okay, I'm done. So I was expecting something more But I guess
But I like them teasing it this way. The same way with
like
taking Batman out. I like the way that they kind of tease it, but it's like, okay, well, if he doesn't show up the rest of the season, we know why. That's the word.
Right.
Yeah.
So the laughing wasn't enough for you.
No, it was fine. It was just I was like expecting something else, but it's kind of good because my prediction is around season 3. I think we're not going to have any more talk about Batman or any talk about Joker. I think season 3 they may not even be on the show anymore. So
did it already get renewed for season 3?
I don't know if it happens. This is my prediction. I'm saying like so if it feels like that they're trying to take these characters out. So they're trying to give them like cool episodes, so we're gonna fade them out. So it's reasonable that they're not on the show, and not just we're not gonna show Batman. He's here in Gotham somewhere, but we're not gonna ever show him. So instead, it's like he's out, so we're gonna show you Batgirl, and I'm not sure who else they may bring in, but it does seem like they're leaning towards a very female-led show, and most of the main characters, including the good guys, are going to be mostly female, I think.
I see. Well, full reaction is available on Patreon, guys. Make sure you check that out. Supporting the channel, supporting the site. Thank you, everybody, for thank you, everybody, for being around again. I think we'll talk. We'll see what we want to do, if we want to jump on another episode next week, or wait. Oh, now I'm actually a little confused. Today's Saturday, so I don't know if we're getting another episode. No, I think we just watched the latest episode this week, so we'll see what happens in the future. Make sure you
bring back Catwoman.
Yes.
My last note: they need to bring back Catwoman.
Hey, Terry, what are you touching? Terry, you touching? I saw that hand. I saw where that hand disappeared. Yeah.
What kind of pizza are you making, sir?
This dude is so drunk. Terry Unchained. Terry Unleashed. We're gonna get it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we'll talk to you on the next episode. Check out all their social media. Sitting in Perspective, Marta doing on Animal Crossing, T Miller doing the damn thing, and of course DC Sun on Instagram and Twitter and his YouTube. One day it'll be updated. One day.
It's like that.
I'm just saying.
I'll update it.
It's okay.
Yeah, and to answer Marta's question, season 3 hasn't been officially announced yet.
Yeah. Just for now.
It's
fingers crossed.
It's up, but it's not officially announced yet.
Take care, guys. We're out. Peace.
Later. Peace.